Hey everybody, I'm Kelsey and this is Cassidy and Katie. And thanks so much for coming to our YouTube channel where we talk about the course Write Your Way to Freedom. A lot of people have a lot of questions and we have three different unique answers from three people who have actually taken the course. So we hope that you find this information helpful. Feel free to browse all of our questions in the notes below. And if you have any other questions, feel free to leave them and we'll try and get to them in one of our next recordings.
Today, we're going to be talking about what we liked about Write Your Way to Freedom.
Take it away,
Okay.
Kat.
Okay. I got you. What did you like about Write Your Way to Freedom? I'll start with the obvious and then work my way into like the surprise bonuses that I had no idea existed, but like ended up really loving about the course. First and foremost, I loved and still love how comprehensive the course is. For me personally, I would not be a freelance copywriter today had it not been for a course like this that walked me through the process step by step by step, because I am a person who will like chronically overthink and overanalyze every single baby step and want to read 15 different articles on what to do about this one thing and then experience analysis paralysis and not do anything because I don't know the right option to choose. And so the thing that I really loved about Write Your Way to Freedom was that it almost like tricked you into building a successful business. And I mean that in the sense of like there was no second guessing involved. It's like, we're going to start with module 1, and all you have to do for module 1 is this one homework assignment. Just watch this one video and take this one step, and you're good. Then you can move on to step 2. And then you just do that over and over and over again. And then before you know it, you have this business that's like gaining legs and building momentum. And so even though like you do have to put in a lot of hard work, it just took the guesswork out of everything. And that just was the biggest benefit of all for me as someone who does tend to like overthink and overanalyze. That said, now that I've been in the course for a few years, the biggest added bonus from being in Write Your Way to Freedom has been the community. And we've talked about this so many times on this channel, but the community in Write Your Way to Freedom is unlike any other community I've ever been a part of. Like, I have met some of my closest, bestest IRL in real life friends from this course, which if you would have told me 4 years ago that would have happened, I would have been like, that's probably not going to happen to me. But yeah, the community is just amazing. Not only just the love and support that you feel, because let's be real, a lot of times when you freelance, it's just you working from your computer, and it's very easy to feel like you're on Lonely Island and that no one understands what you're going through, especially like your family and stuff if they have traditional jobs. So the community is just amazing. Like, you can ask simple questions like, hey, I'm doing this new project and I have absolutely no idea how to price it. Like, can you help me out? Or I'm really struggling with this roadblock and I don't know how to overcome it. Can I bounce some ideas off of someone? Like, just having access to people who are in your shoes and are doing the same like big, scary, brave things that you're doing is so, so comforting. It really is. And yeah, you get lifetime access to Write Your Way to Freedom. So the community is one piece that really never goes away and honestly just continues to build and become more valuable as you get more plugged in.
100% agree. Community was going to be my like unexpected bonus too. They talk about the community in the course, and like the emails that you get. And I'm like, well, that'd be nice, I guess. But it wasn't like a selling feature for me, but it ended up being my favorite part for sure. I would say another little favorite part in terms of like a module that really surprised me was the SEO module. Like, when you type in something on Google, the things that show up on the first page is because they have really good SEO, really good search engine optimization. They're written for Google to perform well in search results. And so it's not just happenstance that that's what you're seeing. That's a lot of strategy. But how to do that feels like this weird mythical unicorn that like people are making it up, right? This can't be a real thing. And I was so baffled by it. I was so just like, this is never a thing I'll be able to learn. I just know it. And Sarah just broke it down in such a like, these are the 5 things you need to consider. And that's it. I promise. That's it. Just like, don't think about it after that. And I was like, okay. And then like, guys, I haven't had to do like very much client acquisition at all in years because my own website performs so well in search results that is where most of my lead gen comes from. So I think that in itself was such a gift. I would say like my favorite thing especially as I've taken other like continuing ed type courses and just like purchased other little courses from different course creators and different copywriters to keep learning. No one gives support like Sarah does. Like Cassidy said, you get lifetime access to the community, but you get lifetime access to Sarah. I mean, she shows up every single week for a live Q&A, and this is years now. If you have a question, you submit it. She answers it in real time on a Zoom. If you have like follow-up questions, you can ask them in the chat. I mean, it's incredible. No one does that. You might get that kind of support for the 12-week duration of the program, but it was so reassuring to know that as I was going through this program, and I had a question about the program, or I had a question about like, hey, this client asked me for this. I'm not sure if this is a red flag, or hey, this client is asking me for this. Is this like in the scope of what I should be doing? Is this a reasonable request? Like all these things that pop up, like Cassidy, you said, it's kind of lonely island as a freelancer. And you're just always like, I don't have a boss to ask. I don't really have a colleague to ask. It's just me. So to be able to have this like super experienced, wise, successful writer in your corner who genuinely cares about your success, like take the time to answer your questions and give you a chance to ask follow-ups every single week is just invaluable. And I honestly don't think it exists anywhere else.
Yeah, I was gonna throw in you talking about SEO reminded me. I said earlier about how like if you just follow the course, it almost like tricks you into building this business because you're just doing what Sarah has outlined in the course. And SEO is such a great example of that because I feel like so many experts and course creators are like, SEO is this big secret and I know everything about it. So come to me and I'll reveal everything to you, like that kind of vibe. And Sarah from the beginning is like, hey, no one really knows how SEO works, and that's okay. Just do these things and let the algorithm do its thing. And I feel like my website was also an example of that. Whenever I got to the module where you needed to build out your website, I followed the few SEO recommendations Sarah had in the module, having no idea really what that would do or really what it meant. I just did it and I was like, checkbox complete. Okay. And then 6 months later, Sarah emailed me and she was like, hey, do you know that your website is ranking #1 for the keyword personal finance copywriter? And I was like, oh no. And 4 years later, it's still ranking #1 for that keyword, even though I had no idea really what SEO was or how it worked. Like I was just outlining the steps that she recommended.
Amazing.
I think too, to speak on that is that like there's also a lot of people that make it a lot more complicated, and it can be really complicated. And there are some factors that go into like how easy or hard it's going to be to rank for something, because like there's a lot of us that are competing for sustainability copywriter, and I've been busting my ass to try and get on page 1, and I am in certain articles, but I'm not on my own website just because it's pretty competitive. But at the same time, the thing that I love about Sarah's section of the SEO course is that she's like, let's just make this like really easy. Like, here's the 5 things I do. You don't have to invest in some $200 a month tool. And honestly, I have like learned more about SEO and strayed in another direction, and kind of think I just want to go back to like revisiting that module at this point, because things were ranking better when I was just using this really simple, like, hey, check what's on Google, then check this, then do that, then just write the blog post that Sarah was having me do. Those are the blogs that are ranking the best for me still. And so sometimes it doesn't have to be quite as complicated as some people make it out to be. But having taken a handful of other copywriting courses at this point, I think my favorite part of the course is honestly that it's self-paced. Like, you have complete control over it. And why this is such a huge benefit is because if you hop into other courses that are not self-paced, especially as someone who doesn't really know what you're doing and you're new to the copywriting world, it can be really hard. Sometimes you just need to slow down and take your time with something. Like there is, like Cass and Katie were saying, like I just did it and I put it up and then I got to move on. And that's like a very real part of it. But also there are times where you're like, I don't understand this and I want to rewatch it 6 times. And in some of those like not self-paced course, you don't have time. Like they've already moved on to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing by then, and you're just playing catch up and rushing through to try and stay at pace with the course, when the reality is you want to move a lot slower, or it moves really slow and you lose some of your momentum because you're like, I was so excited about this when this started and I could have learned a lot in like 1 or 2 weeks. I took Write Your Way to Freedom in 30 days. So it was like, I really wanted to move quickly to keep my momentum high. And the other courses that I've taken that have gone on for months sometimes have me like, I'm feeling really like burnt out at this point and I'm not even excited about it anymore. So you kind of get to capitalize on how you're feeling in this course, which I think is just another really big benefit of the way that it's structured.
Thanks so much for tuning into our video today. I'm Kelsey and this is Katie and Cassidy. And together we talk about what it's like to be in the program Write Your Way to Freedom to help you determine if it's the right fit for you or not. If anything from the videos today resonated with you or made you decide like, yes, this is it, I want to sign up, it would mean the world to us if you used our referral code. For full transparency, we do get a little bit of a monetary kickback every time somebody signs up that we split between the three of us. And we also make a donation to World Central Kitchen, which you can find out more information on via the link in our notes. So thanks so much for tuning in and check out the rest of our questions. We've probably answered the one that you have. Bye.
Bye.